All right, in this video, we're going to show how to use DotLoop for a seller or a listing to do the listing sale checklist. So not the listing itself, but the actual contract to purchase the listing that I have, and then submit it for review to compliance auditing. So the first thing we do is you'll notice I have 2 sessions of DotLoop open. So on this one, we're going to click on the listing sale checklist. Looks like it's all populated, so it's fine. And we're going to make sure that all of these documents are in the folder for compliance auditing and review. So I'm going to have this DotLoop session open here, and then I'm going to have this one open, and I'm going to start making sure everything's in order. So the green sheet is where it needs to be. So here's the listing sale checklist, then the green sheet. Next is the MLS agent only format printout. And I don't have it here, but I do have it down here. So then what I can do is I can say, make a copy. And I'm going to copy it as a flat PDF. And I'm going to tell it to go to this loop. And I want to do it in offer number 2. It's already in the listing, so I'm going to copy it to right here. So I hit copy, hit OK, and what do you know? There it is. So I'm going to move it below the green sheet. So check that. Next, we need the listing agreement, which is, whoops, hold on here. We don't have any listing agreement changes, so I'm just going to check that box, which means it's not applicable. Next, we need the earnest money receipt. And let's see here. I do not have the earnest money receipt. So just to verify that I may or may not have it already, I'm going to go to my email and I'm going to do a search by the listing agent, because I probably would have gotten it from her. And it doesn't look like I have that from what I can tell here. So I'm going to write an email. I'm going to say Roz, who is the buyer's agent. And I'm going to send her a quick email and say, can you send me a copy of your title company's earnest money receipt for the buyer, and hit send. So I won't be able to finish all of this, and I'll have to come back and do it later. But I am going to go ahead and go through the process for the purposes of the video. So I'm not going to sign that one. I'm going to have to come back to it. So next is the lead-based paint and the seller's disclosure. So here's the lead-based paint. And here is the seller's disclosure. And I need the building inspection resolution. I'm pretty sure that I don't have a building inspection resolution on this one, because I think that they're pretty much buying it as is. So I can check paragraph 10, which I have here. Nothing in special agreements. So just to be safe, double check here. I'm going to click on the listing here just to make sure I didn't put it in here accidentally. I don't see it. So it could be that I got it. So I'm going to go back and just double check my email. So here is inspection notice. and I'm going to click on View Document. And there it is. Buyer is satisfied with all inspections. So I just forgot to download it. So I'm just going to hit download, hit OK. And that'll automatically go into my downloads folder. And so now if I go back over here, hit add document, browse, go to my downloads, and there it is. And you can see the buyer is satisfied with all inspections, so they didn't ask for anything. So I hit open, and the inspection notice goes right here. So there's the building inspection resolution. Next, I need the sale contract and any of the riders. So here's the residential sales contract. I'm going to move it up. We don't have any riders, and the reason we don't have any riders, like for example for the appraisal or FHA or anything like that, is because this particular buyer is buying this house not contingent upon financing. Now if they had checked this box for contingent upon financing and it had any of these boxes checked, including like this box or this box, then there would be riders. Now there is a contingency, so we don't want to ignore that. So the contingency would move right here. I'm going to check to see what this amendment is real quick, just so I can see where it goes. It looks like the buyer never signed this. I'm not going to be too worried about that right now unless the compliance auditor catches that for some reason. So I really don't even need that. So I'm just going to archive it. So next I need any of the amendments, which we don't have. We just archived the one because we didn't need it. So next, we're just going to double check the rest of this sheet to make sure all of this is filled out. It looks good. I don't have any of this. And just check those boxes, and I'm going to start signing. So I have that. I have that. I have that. And this. Now I don't have the earnest money, so I'm going to leave it unchecked for now. Sometimes it's a little cantankerous. And there we go. So I'm going to have to make myself a note here to come back and check this later. And normally this would be where I stop, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to go over here and click on it here just so you can see that it is all there after I all signed it. And I am going to go ahead and submit this to compliance for review. So I'm going to go up here and hit submit for review. And I'm doing the listing sale checklist because this is an offer, but it is a listing. And then hit submit. And then that sends a notification to whoever the compliance person is to begin looking at the file. And that is how you do DotLoop for a seller or a listing, and specifically the listing sale checklist.